Hey everyone, I wanted to give you an update today on the state of AI and the union here in the United States of America. What we got going on is, simply put, Meta has not failed yet, OpenAI has not failed yet, Anthropic has not failed yet. Google still exists, AWS still exists. Yes, that's right. There's no doom and gloom yet. So for everyone telling you that all the markets are imploding tomorrow and everything is going to be gone, I hate to be the one to break it to you, they're all still here. And in fact, here's some latest and breakiest news. Meta, despite what everyone said they should do, is actually investing more into their Louisiana AI buildout. That's right. At their 2 terawatt hour, I think, AI buildout down there, they have decided to expand it up to 5 terawatt hours, spending an additional, I believe, $5 billion. Don't have the number off the top of my head. Sorry, guys. As you know, I have surgery, so I'm reading the articles, trying to remember as many numbers as I can. The whole point I want to get across to you, though, is despite Ed Zitron and the Zitronians getting on and crying about how fearful they were, how reckless Meta was being, and how they were right, proven right, and now Meta should act responsibly. Meta is still acting irresponsibly and building out. They're continuing to build out. And you might ask yourself, well, why is that? Despite what Ed says, who was a video game reviewer who turned to AI 3 years ago and obviously knows everything about AI, why are they continuing to do that? Why is Meta continuing to do this? And the simple fact is that Meta, as they stated on the earnings call, is building out their AI plants as a defensive measure also. Okay? So they don't want to be disrupted by an OpenAI, by a Perplexity, by an Anthropic, or by somebody else that comes in and is like, hey, we have an AI AI product that can compete with Instagram. We have an AI product that can compete with Facebook. It's a defensive move. Mark has been saying this. And as he's been saying, the worst thing that happens is that they end up selling off this compute to others. They end up internal dog fooding it with other departments. They put it into their ad. Remember, right now, Meta is making tremendous money off of AI in its ad department. All of its ad unit has completely been revamped through AI, and it's performing better than ever. And as Mark said, they can take, for every dollar that they take of compute and put it into their ads, they have a definitive return that they know they get back. You might say, well, why aren't they putting every single dollar into there? Because again, like I told you, they want to have this compute available in case any threats come up. All you have to do is listen to the earnings call. That's what he's saying. I know you might not like Mark Zuckerberg. He's kind of like a lizard person a little bit, or an alien. But if you just listen to what he's saying, he's telling you exactly why they're building out like this. Oh, welcome to Ruben Tech, where we meet at the intersection of tech and politics. Oh, no more politics, tech and finance. Please be sure to like and subscribe down below. Next little bit of news I want to get into has to concern Google. Google's Gemini 3.5 has been delayed for now a month. And I think one of the reasons that we can see why, it was related by one of their developer advocates over on Twitter, on X. X has been just ablaze with rumors about why 3.5 is delayed. But again, this guy, his name is Killian Fitzpatrick, or is it Logan Fitzpatrick? I forget his name. It's one of those two. And unfortunately, I can't check because I only have one hand. But he had written, that people are underestimating the novel ways that data can be used when it comes to AI. Now, this to me was particularly interesting because I have been telling you this from the beginning about Google and Meta and why they have such an advantage over OpenAI and Anthropic. And the simple fact is that he could be hinting at their Orchestrator model, which is what I think 3.5 is going to be. Many people think that Google is just shooting for another frontier lab, 3.5 to compete with everybody else. And don't get me wrong, I think that they are shooting for that. But I think they're also shooting for something bigger. They're looking at the fact that, like I said, Google and Facebook must win in the consumer space. They must defend their products. And the way they do that is by what Fitzpatrick said, is by leveraging all the information that they have about people across their 13 products with 1 billion users. They're going to orchestrate, they're going to deploy AI agents through all of these products. They already are. You can already see that. Open up any of Google's product offerings, you will see AI in it. And they need to have the orchestrator up at the top that's integrating all of these different aspects. And simply put, that's not easy. Some of the rumors out there are things like they rebuilt the entire model after 4 guys left, right? Which is just absolutely ridiculous. Could you imagine building a foundational base of your model from the ground up in just a month? Those guys left a month ago. I mean, that's completely nonsense. We know that Elon just said for Grok, they had to rebuild the foundational part of it from the ground up again. That was in February. They released Grok 4.5 in what? Early July? Just like 2 weeks ago, or was it a week ago? So that took them roughly 4 months to do. And you think Google did it in a month. It's not possible. Now, I'm not doubting that they didn't upgrade the foundational model, but my guess is that they were doing that from the beginning. Okay? I believe that the delay is caused by the fact that this is going to be an orchestrator model. And one of the rumors out there was that they were looking at some of these other models, 3.5 Flash in particular, to be a little bit more efficient on token usage. Now, why is that? Well, because they're deploying 3.5 Flash across all of their product lines. When you are in, say, one thing that people don't understand is like when you're using search overview in Google, that's not your most powerful model. People always point at that to look, oh, look how dumb this AI is like, hello, that's like their weakest strength model, okay? They're not deploying the most powerful model for every single search you do. And they're not doing it in all of these apps. They don't have the most powerful model. What they're gonna do is they're gonna take lesser agents, deploy it through these apps, and then at the top level, where they pull all the data up, that's where they're gonna have the 3.5 Pro, i.e. the orchestration layer that coordinates all of this together. And my guess is that's what's been slowing them down, is getting this orchestration level together. And combined with the fact that, of course, just because they have to play the numbers game, they got to make it competitive on all of the, with all the other frontier AI labs when it comes to coding and benchmarks and all this and all of that. But that was the one rumor that I found to be the most credible that came out, was the fact that they're looking at releasing at the same time as 3.5 Pro, they're going to release a 3.6 Flash or 4.0 Flash. And the reason for that would be that you deploy this across all of your product lines, the 3.6, the 4.0 Flash. And then that way the orchestrator model can work with them. And then those lesser models aren't burning as many resources for Google, but yet it can offer a very convenient, very nice product offering with your information, just like Fitzpatrick said, right? Which again is something that Google and Meta have as a leg up over everybody else. OpenAI and Anthropic cannot do this, okay? Chinese AI labs cannot do this within the consumer space of America. Can they do it within the consumer space of China? Of course they can. They have all the information on Chinese consumers, but they can't do it within America. The only 2 companies that can do it within America, well, Apple could do it also, but they're not in the AI race yet. So right now it's only Meta and Google that can do these 2 things. So, okay, that's what I got for you guys today. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. As always, all of you out there, have a great day.